Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope that you're all having an amazing start to your week. Welcome back to our Q&A video, our last Q&A video, number 300. I can't believe that we have made it to 300 MMQAs. That is insane. I have a feeling that this is going to be one of the longest ones, so be prepared. If you have to watch this in segments, by all means do that. I wanted to go out with a bang, so like I said, it might be a little bit long. And I ask you for the last time to grab your coffee, grab your tea, let's start your workouts, go to work, let's do your laundry, whatever it is that you're doing, come join me. We have some awesome topics to discuss. All right, starting with the first question. If you had all the money in the world and can buy any fashion house, which fashion house would you buy? And after you bought it, what changes would you make and why? Ooh, I'm gonna get so much hate for this, but I would buy Hermes, aka Hermes, and the changes that I would make the handbags readily available. The Birkins, the Kellys, the Constants. I would make those bags readily available. I wouldn't mass produce them, and there would still be a wait list for them, but I would make them readily available in the boutiques. Plus, I would ensure that the whole game of are you really fit for this lifestyle? We have to make sure you have to buy all this junk in order to buy that one bag. That game would be completely gone. And I know some of you are probably like, Minnie, you're gonna ruin the brand. Minnie, why would you do that? Minnie, then it's not gonna be as popular as it is. It is still absolutely gonna be popular, 100%. You know, and the exclusivity is still going to be there. You know why? Because I don't know very many people that walk around with $10,000 to $15,000 in their wallet ready to drop that on a bag. And if you do have the means to do that, why shouldn't you be able to buy the handbag from the store, directly from the store, instead of having to pay double or triple from a reseller, from a consignment shop, and then the money goes to them instead of that fashion house that you love so much? That I have never been able to wrap my brain around that. You know what I mean? So the exclusivity is still going to be there. Like I said, I wouldn't mass produce them. The wait list would still be there. The whole, special order would still be there and what have you, but I would make them readily available for people that have that type of money to drop on a bag right then and there. You know you're buying it from the boutique, you know you're buying it from Hermes, and you know that it is 100% authentic. That's what I would do. So that would be the fashion house that I would buy. And you know what? I still wouldn't buy a bag from them. Even if I owned it, I still wouldn't rock a bag, just on principle. But those are just my 2 cents. What about you guys? If you could buy any fashion house, which fashion house would that be? And what changes would you make? Next question. Counterfeit / replica industry and mentality. Would love to know your thoughts. All right, so for me personally, I am not a fan of replicas. I never have been. I know that many moons ago, I was taken advantage of because I thought that I was buying something authentic, and that definitely wasn't the case. So I don't really like the con behind that. I really don't like the fact, number one, I don't like what is behind the entire industry. Plus, I'm not a fan of the fact that they take advantage of people thinking that they are selling them something authentic and it is not authentic. So I really don't like the con. I really don't like the fact that a lot of these industries do take advantage of people. Then again, there are people that willingly know what it is, and to each their own. I am not one of those types of people that will bash you because of what you are carrying. It is none of my business what you spend your money on. You do you and I do me. And for me personally, that is not something that I would like to spend my money on. I would much rather go for a no-name brand that has its own style, that has its own, kind of thing going on, versus trying to pass off a bag that isn't. There are people that buy replicas and they are 100% honest about the fact that they are replicas. I love that. I love the transparency of that. What I'm not a fan of is when people try to pass them off as real. Why? Why not just say, you know what? I don't want to spend that type of money on a bag. I don't want to spend that type of money on a trendy bag, or that's not my thing, or whatever the case may be, and just say it's a replica. So what? It's a replica. I like it when people are that open and honest about what they are carrying versus the ones that are trying to pull the wool over your eyes and trying to say, oh yeah, it's authentic and it's not. No, if that's the case, again, I would much rather go for a no-name bag that has a different little quirk that, you know, might look similar to it, but it isn't that bag or doesn't even remotely look like it. I'd rather go for something original, if you will, because I know a lot of them play off of each other. I'd rather go for something like that than going for something that looks like it or not looks like it, that is trying to pass it off as what it is. Definitely not. But as I said before, I'm not a fan and I don't like everything behind the industry and what it does, but you do you, I do me. I am not here to judge what you spend your money on. That is not my jam. All right, next question. If tomorrow was your last day, out of any bags, doesn't matter the brand, what would be the bag that you would carry? I would have to say it would be the Fendi baguette in the red sequins. It would be this bag because it would be like, not full circle, well, I guess in a way, just because of, it reminds me of the Wizard of Oz. It has my favorite combination of all time. Red, and it has gold, it has glitter on the buckle, it has sequins, it's shiny, it's spacious, it's just everything that I absolutely love and appreciate for my, you know, that I like when it comes to handbags. And I feel like this would describe my personality to a T, better than any other bag that I have in my collection. So it would absolutely have to be the Fendi Sequence Baguette. Like, no question about it. What about you guys? Next question. Do you have any information on Louis Vuitton removing canvas pieces from their website in 2023? How do you see this impacting the pre-loved market if Louis Vuitton makes it that much harder to purchase? All right, so this is the first I am hearing about this. Is this really what they're gonna do? They're going to remove canvas pieces from their website next year? Why? Why would you do that? Now, I'm not trying to start any rumors. Like I said, this is the first that I'm hearing about this, but that is the most idiotic thing I have ever heard. Like, why would you do that? That makes no sense. And it will definitely have an impact on the pre-loved market because it's gonna make those items on the pre-loved market be double, triple the retail price because they're gonna be that much harder to get. That makes no sense. That is the dumbest thing because it's like, I know that some people don't even have Louis Vuitton anywhere near them. Some people don't have Louis Vuitton anywhere in their state. So by being able to go online and buy their canvas pieces there, it's been, that's how they've been able to acquire, you know, items into their collection. And now you're gonna do away with that? That is so stupid. Why? Am I missing something? Is there another piece to this puzzle that I'm completely missing? I don't understand. Now, I also think that, is this maybe another marketing tactic? Because do you remember, I think it was like 3 years ago, I want to say it was 3 years ago, there was a rumor that they were going to discontinue the canvas, and it went crazy. People were going nuts buying their pieces because they didn't want to miss out on anything. And if I remember correctly, it caused them to have some of their highest sales that quarter because of that news. And here we are, 2022, and obviously canvas is still very much a thing. So I wonder if they're doing this to push more sales, and then they're gonna say, oops, never mind, psych, got you. I don't know, but if they do remove canvas pieces from their website, I mean, it just goes to show that they are just trying to push leather only. They're trying to push their special items, anything that's not canvas. And I feel like canvas is what made, well, it's not what made them famous, but it's something that is just, it goes hand in hand with Louis Vuitton. You know, and it's almost like they're trying to shy away from it. It's like, oh, I don't want to be associated with that. Why? Why? You know, they do canvas, I think, better than anybody in the business. Maybe now it's changed a little bit than what it was before, but why would you do that? That makes zero sense. So if you guys have, even Theo isn't a fan of that, but if you guys have any information on this, or if you can show or, you know, guide me to an article on this, let me know, because I am very intrigued by this, and maybe I am missing something else. But if they do decide to get rid of it altogether, that is the dumbest thing that I think that they can do. But then again, nothing surprises me with Louis Vuitton anymore. Next question. What one bag would you buy over and over if it was somehow lost or stolen? Hands down, the Louis Vuitton Neverfull MM, and it would have to be in the Demi-Azur. Absolutely no questions asked. Next question. Does it ever feel like you're promoting overconsumption? Nope. Next question, Chanel Mini O Case or the Louis Vuitton Mini Pochette? So I did bring them out so we have a little bit more eye candy. Absolutely love them both. I think that the Mini O Case is fantastic. However, I'm gonna have to give the win to the good old Mini Pochette. I mean, it's a lot more spacious. I like the chain that it comes with because you can use it as a wristlet, as a handbag. You can add a strap to it and use it as a full-blown handbag as well. I feel like this one has a lot more versatility. I think it's absolutely amazing. Again, I'm not saying that this one is bad because you guys know how I feel about these Mini O cases, but this one absolutely takes the cake in my opinion. I really wish that they added chains to these because if they did, then it would give the Mini Pochette an even bigger run for its money. All right, next question. Does a friendly cigar fit in the Gucci playing cards zip case? All right, so here I have my friendly cigar. Obviously, you guys know what this is. This is how I refer to them. I think I always have ever since I started using them. And here is the Gucci playing card set. This guy does not fit, but if you have one of those travel friendly cigars, like the really, the compact ones, they fit in here like a glove. I couldn't find any, but they fit in here no problem. And I believe that you can fit like maybe 3 in there at a time. So yeah, these bad boys definitely won't fit, but those travel ones, those compact ones, definitely will. I know that that's TMI, all right? But sometimes things like these, like this, are important when it comes to questions, right? You just want to know. You want to know. What are you going to do? Call up Gucci and say, hey, that playing card set, can you fit a friendly cigar in there? No. I got you. I got you. All right, next question. Do you sometimes buy vintage bags also, or do you prefer new? I like both. I like new, but when it comes to vintage or discontinued pieces, there is always something about them. I like the history that they have, and also sometimes the quality, as we've talked about many of times, especially when it comes to certain fashion houses. I feel like some of those older pieces just they exude that luxury. They exude that quality that you are looking for that you might not find nowadays. And you know, I'm not saying anything bad against the new items because some of them are fantastic, but I go for both. I definitely end up reaching more for new than I do vintage. But vintage, there is definitely something very special about vintage handbags. You know, in my opinion. Next question, 5 bags of your lifetime that you don't think you'll ever change your mind about. True classics. Ooh, this is a good one. I'm gonna have to say the Louis Vuitton Neverfull MM, the Speedy 25 Bandolier, the Chanel Reissue 226, the Chanel Medium Large Classic Flap, and the last one, I'm gonna go with the small Loewe puzzle bag. Absolutely. I think those 5 bags are beyond classic, and I can honestly see myself rocking those bags when I'm old and gray. Actually, I shouldn't say when I'm old and gray because I'm already old and I'm already gray. So until the bitter end. Definitely those 5. What about you guys? What are the 5 classic bags in your collection that you don't think you will ever change your opinion on? Let us know in the comment section down below. All right, next question. Best compact wallet that will fit everything and the kitchen sink. For me personally, it's gotta be the Chanel O-Zip coin purse. I love these wallets. You guys have heard me talk about them many of times. It was on one of my most used SLGs for 2022, not this one, but these are amazing. They're small, but look at this. Look at the space. You have 3 different compartments. You can fit everything that you would fit in a full-size large wallet in here, no problem. You do have to fold your cash a couple of times, obviously. I know that that's a major no-no for some people. I don't mind it, but again, the fact that you have so much space, you have this zippered closure that ensures that everything stays in here. You don't have to worry about your cards flying out or your cash flying out or anything like that. Everything is very secure. It fits in the palm of your hand. and it is amazing. I am obsessed with these Chanel O-Zip coin purses. Next question. What do you think caused all the long lines and wait times at luxury stores these days? Definitely the scarcity of items, not to mention that a lot of these fashion houses have implemented limits on their items. So I think that between those two, it's caused a lot of buzz, it's caused a lot of frenzy, and it's caused a lot of people to get FOMO for those items. And I would also have to say that price increases, because if you increase prices on handbags, let's just say once a year, it wasn't that big of a deal. But if you start to increase it 4 or 5 times a year, people want to get the item that they've had their eye on before it starts to increase again. And when you start hearing about price increases from all of these fashion houses, once again, it causes a buzz, it causes a frenzy where it's like, okay, I want to get that item that I've had my eye on, I've had it on my wish list for, you know, X amount of time. I want to get it before it goes up in price. And these price increases aren't like $5 or $10 either, you know, they're anywhere from $100 to $500 to $800 at one shot, you know. So I think those 3 things have definitely caused those long lines to be more of the norm when it comes to luxury stores. Next question: what 5 bags do you now have in your collection that you definitely cannot live without? All right, so that's a tough one because there are quite a few that I feel like I couldn't live without. And of course, I say that very loosely. I'm gonna have to go with the Neverfull no surprise there. The classic flap in the size medium, the white cocoa handle, the Chanel wallet on chain, and what's the last one? I would have to say the Fendi baguette. Yeah, the Fendi SeeQuins baguette for sure. But that could change because, like I said before, I'm very indecisive. So if you guys ever see me answer this question later on and there are different bags, just know, all right? Sometimes I just can't make up my mind. But what about you guys? What are 5 bags that you have in your collection that you cannot live without? Let us know in the comment section down below. All right, next question. Will you ever venture out to bolder colors? I mean, I think red is a pretty bold color. I know some people aren't a fan of the color red just because it's so obnoxious. It can be very, you know, in your face. So I think that red is a very bold color. But as far as other colors, I can see myself venturing into maybe a blue, maybe even, are you ready for this? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm gonna say it because I said this in another MMQA this year, probably like 3 months ago. I can see myself going for an orange bag. I can see myself going for a purple bag. Like I would have never thought to go for a purple bag because those 3 colors, blue, purple, and orange, are not my jam. But I've seen some bags out there that I'm like, oh man, that is a beautiful blue, that is a beautiful purple, that is a beautiful orange. Just goes to show, never say never, because then you'll be eating your words 1 letter at a time like moi. All right, next question. Favorite Louis Vuitton perfume? None of them, because they all smell like straight up dukes on me. But I do have a favorite cologne. This is the Hubs. This is, and I'm probably gonna butcher it, all right, but you guys know what I mean. This is Le Monsité. And I don't know why I said it with that accent, all right? But this smells absolutely divine on the Hubs. It smells amazing. 1 little spritz, that's all you need. But this is such an amazing scent. I cannot stress that enough. Oh man, just even smelling the top without opening it up, it's just, it's not annoying. It's not the type of fragrance that gives you a headache. It has this beautiful scent. It has this beautiful sillage that it leaves behind. It's just amazing. So on me, unfortunately, all of the Louis Vuitton fragrances that I have tried, I have a few different samples, like little bottles, and they all smell like straight up dukes. They smell like diarrhea on me. I mean, like to a T. I cannot do them justice with my body chemistry. All right, next question. Is the Christmas animation worth it in terms of durability? So the Louis Vuitton Christmas animation, or even the silk screening that they have on some of their limited edition pieces, in the past, I have always heard that the silk screening has a tendency to wear off. I know that I've had a couple pieces that have that silk screening that start to have that peeling off. It depends on how much you use it. If it's something that you see yourself using all the time, there is a bigger chance that it'll start to wear off a lot faster than something that doesn't have that illustration on top. I do think that they're very cute. I mean, they're highly sought after. Some people only collect those, and I like some of the stories that they tell with the animation, but in terms of durability, as I said before, it depends on how often you see yourself using these items. I've also heard some people say that they've had their Christmas animation pieces that they've had for years and they've used them often and they haven't had any issues either. So it really depends. I really wish that I can give you a better answer, but that's just the way that I would gauge it. If you see yourself using it a lot, that's maybe something to keep in the back of your mind. And even if it starts to wear a little bit funky, or if it starts to have that, you still have that illustration that is absolutely incredible. And I don't think it'll wear from 0 to 100 in like a week or two either. So also keep that in mind. So I don't know if that answers your question or not, but they are absolutely beautiful. And I welcome your guys' opinion when it comes to the Christmas animation and the wear that you have experienced with your pieces on the comment section down below. All right, next question. I am 60 years old and it seems my drive to buy bags is over. Will it ever be over for you? As of right now, as of this moment in time, I don't foresee that happening. Of course, never say never. I never know what the future holds. I mean, nobody knows what the future holds. But I feel like I don't buy as much as I did before. Before I felt like you can call it kind of like a, might have seemed like a shopping spree, if you will. But now I feel like I've really slowed down on how much I purchase, be it handbags or SLGs. I definitely don't purchase luxury shoes like I did before either. So I don't know, it might be going in that direction, but I think that handbags will forever be a part of what I like. Again, I could be wrong, but sometimes I feel like, I might be done. I might be done. And then I see a bag out in the wild, and I'm like, and there starts the rush and the feeling and the warm and fuzzies of handbags all over again. You know what I mean? Do you guys have that happen as well? Like you think you're good and then you see something, you're like, wait a minute. No, I'm not done. I'm still very much in the game. I don't know. All right, next question. If I want a small capsule collection of bags, 8 to 10, what style of bags are a must? This is all about personal preference. For me personally, it would have to be something along the lines of a tote, because totes are first and foremost something that I always look for. A tote, a top handle, a shoulder bag, a clutch, or I should say a wallet on chain, something to that effect. One style of bag that is definitely not important to me, not something that I look for, would be a crossbody bag, which is kind of weird, right? Because I know that a lot of people prefer to have a crossbody bag. Of course, you're hands-free, so I know that everything that a crossbody brings to the table, but that for me personally is not something that I have to have in my collection. It's not something that is a pro when it comes to handbags. So those are just some of the styles that would have to be a handbag, like a capsule of handbags for me. But what about you guys? I welcome your guys' thoughts and your opinions on a small capsule collection of handbags. What are the must-haves for you? All right, next question. What's your all-time favorite bag in Fashion House? I don't think I could pick one favorite bag. I really couldn't. Again, because you guys know I am super, super indecisive, but I can tell you that my favorite fashion house, hands down, is Chanel. Next question. Do any of your bags make Sir Minks for all? I love that. Kind of reminds me of Sir Minks a lot. Say that's a cool bag. Yeah, out of the handbags that I own, he really likes the Chanel GST and he likes the Loewe puzzle bag in the small and in the mini. What I can tell you, the bags that he doesn't like from my collection. He doesn't like the sparkly ones. He doesn't like the sequence ones. And he is not a fan of the Louis Vuitton multicolor because he thinks it's for kids. He's like, nope. And he doesn't like denim bags either. And when you take into consideration what he doesn't like, I think that it's so funny because those are some of my all-time favorite bags from my collection. So, but yeah, the GST and the Loewe puzzle bag. All right, next question. What are your handbag must-haves besides SLGs? Definitely lipsticks. I have to have lipsticks, a minimum really of like 2 or 3. I don't know, a girl's gotta have options. Lipsticks, headache medicine. I have to carry that with me because I get really, really bad headaches. Tooth floss. I have like an obsession with teeth and I always want to make sure that I don't have anything in my teeth. And last but not least, gum. Gum has to be in my bag at all times. I don't care if it's in like one little piece by itself. I have to have gum because I do not want dragon breath or mints. Actually, I'm not a fan of mints because I think mints give you like worse breath afterwards. You know what I mean? But yeah, gum. Sugar-free, minty gum, preferably Trident. So those are my those are my must-haves when it comes to my handbag. What about you guys? Let us know your handbag must-haves, not including SLGs. All right, next one. I would love to see your current wallet collection, large to small. Okay, so let me know if you guys want me to do an entire wallet collection because I have to forewarn you, it would be a very long video. If I'm including from flat card holders to full-blown wallets, it's gonna be a long video. So let me know if that's something that would interest you guys. And if you are interested, what kind of information do you want to know? Because remember, I can talk until the cows come home, but what would you guys like to know about each wallet? Let me know in the comment section down below. So I'm not opposed to doing it, but again, it'll be a little bit of a long video. All right, next question. If you had to choose between the latest Chanel heart bag or the latest Coach heart handbag in the large size, which would you choose and why? Neither, but if I had to, I would go for the Coach one, only because it doesn't have a ridiculously stupid price point for the bag. No, because I think the Coach one is what, 400 bucks, 495 or something like that for the leather one. I know they also have it in the canvas. But yeah, I would go for the Coach one, hands down. It could also be because I'm not a fan of the heart bag, the Chanel heart bag. It's not really my thing at all. Next question. Have you ever owned a Senreve bag? If so, thoughts? If not, are you interested? All right, so when it comes to Senreve, no, I have never owned a handbag from them. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. They approached me, I wanna say it was probably 2 years ago. And they said that we wanna send you a handbag. We wanna get your thoughts on it, what you think about it. I was like, absolutely. Only if I can share my true and honest opinion on it, pros and cons. And they got back to me and said that they would prefer not to have any negative feedback on their bags. And I thought, okay, you know, I understand that, you know, companies don't want to have any negative feedback on their products. I can respect that. But for me personally, that's not the way that's not what works for me. That's not works out for my channel. Especially when I'm giving my opinion on something, I want to be able to sincerely share the pros and cons that I find in an item. And I just wasn't a fan of how they did business. They reached out to me, I want to say it was probably 3 or 4 months after that. And they said, you know what, well, we want to send you the bag anyways, and you can definitely share your opinion and blah, blah, blah. I don't know why someone said that. And it was like this whole back and forth. And I just thought, you know what, I don't really appreciate a company that does business that way. When you initially said that you didn't want any negative feedback, you didn't want me to highlight any kind of con on the handbag, you know, and I said, I respect that, but that's just not what works for me. That's not what works for my channel, especially when I am giving someone my true and honest opinion on something. You know, so I decided against it. It didn't really leave a good taste in my mouth because of how they initially, you know, went at the situation. So I was not a fan of that. And again, like I said before, I understand that companies don't want any type of con, but when you only want positive feedback, how are people supposed to take anything seriously, or how are people supposed to make a decision on whether or not something works for their lifestyle if you only hear about the good? You know, so a lot of people have come forward with buying their own Senreve bags, and they talk about their experiences, and I would much rather hear an opinion from someone who has purchased something and they're able to give their true and honest opinion than getting a handbag for free and only being able to say the good that comes from, the good points of that bag. So like I said before, it left a really bad taste in my mouth. I don't like that doesn't work for me. But I can tell you, based on what I have seen, a lot of people do rave about the handbags that they have. They have some really cool looking styles. They have some really great price points as well. But for me personally, it is not a brand that interests me by any means whatsoever. Next question. I'm considering a leather pochette Metis. Do you think that the price point is worth it for the quality / long-term use? All right, so the Louis Vuitton Pochette Metis, you guys know I absolutely love that bag. I will forever sing its praises. I think that if Louis Vuitton has rectified, if they have fixed the issues that surrounded the Pochette Metis before, then I absolutely think that it's worth it going for it in the leather version. I've heard a lot of people say that the leather version, they prefer that one over their canvas one just because of how it wears. So I think that's wonderful. So I definitely think that it's worth it to go for the leather version, because I think that it will definitely end up wearing a lot better as time goes by. The empreinte leather is just, it's so soft, it's so supple, plus it gives you a little bit more wiggle room with what it is that you want to carry. So I say absolutely go for it. All right, next question. Do you find yourself using your Louis Vuitton white multicolor Noe? I don't. Wondering if I should sell mine. So I did bring it out so we have a little bit more eye candy. And funny thing is that I don't really end up using it as much as I did before either. The first year that I got it, I couldn't put it down. I used it all year round. And now I find that I really end up gravitating more towards it in spring and summer. But even this year, I didn't really go for it. Don't get me wrong, I still love it. It still brings me joy whenever I see it or whenever I do use it. So I personally don't foresee myself selling it anytime soon. However, if you have found that you have fallen out of love with that bag, as beautiful as it might be, I say sell it and put that money towards something else. Absolutely. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe next year I'll end up using it a little bit more. But if that doesn't happen, if it ends up becoming one of my least used bags, then I will definitely give that bag the heave-ho. All right, next question. What are your thoughts on brands Tory Burch, Kurt Geiger, and Acne Studios? So I have never purchased anything from Acne Studios. I've heard so many great things about the brand. Their bags especially, a lot of people rave about them. They're a little bit higher up when it comes to contemporary brands, but they sell things besides handbags, obviously. But yeah, I've never purchased anything, so I couldn't personally give you any feedback on that. Tory Burch, I love Tory Burch. You guys know that I have that ginormous straw bag that I got at Saks Off the Fifth. It is massive. I think I've used it twice, and I think it's great. I think Tory Burch, with some of their items, I think it's a hit or a miss for me personally. But I do think that they have some awesome, some awesome looking bags. As far as Kurt Geiger goes, I've never purchased any handbags from them. I do have some shoes from Kurt Geiger that I got when I was in London that I absolutely love. Unfortunately, the faux leather has started to peel, so they don't look very good. But Kurt Geiger, I think, has very friendly price points. I like the fact that they are very similar to, their handbags are very similar to luxury fashion houses with a little bit of a twist, of course. And once again, they have a friendlier price point when it comes to contemporary bags. Next question, how many handbags do you own? Can you show your collection, please? So I know that it's been a few years since I have done an entire handbag collection video. I know that it's a very popular video that you YouTubers do at the end of the year. But for me personally, I really don't find joy in making that type of video anymore. I would rather do an entire Chanel collection video, an entire Louis Vuitton handbag collection video. Plus, I think it would be stupid long. And I always like to be able to give a little bit more information on the bag and how it's wearing and things like that. So if I did an entire one, number one, it doesn't bring me joy making that type of video anymore. And number two, it would be stupid long because I feel like I couldn't contain myself when it comes to sharing information on each bag. And I know some people are like, why don't you just show them and then just go through them very quickly? I don't know, that's not the way that I am wired, all right? So what can I say? But as far as how many handbags I have, I don't know the exact number. I would have to say 40 plus, easy, right around there. All right, moving on. Louis Vuitton Cozygram, I'm probably saying it wrong, but you know what I mean. Alma BB or the double zip pochette. So out of the three, I definitely lean more towards the Alma BB. I still absolutely love this bag. I've had it for a few years now, and I still think that it's amazing. It's small, but it packs a punch. It's very spacious. Of course, I'm not a fan of the fact that it comes with the whole one size fits all strap, but I do like the fact that it is removable. So you can still add quite a bit of versatility to this bag, but I think it is absolutely amazing. Now the Cozygram, it's funny because when this bag first came out, I was very intrigued by it. I've tried it on the boutique a few times, but there's something about it that just doesn't really make my heart sing. It really doesn't do anything for me, and I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. I know some people in the past have mentioned that it wears kind of funny just because of how you open it up, and also I've read that some people have struggled with the lock that it comes with, so that also comes into play. But in general, I think it's a pretty bag, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know, I can either take it or leave it type of thing. Now the double zip pochette, I don't think it has a crazy price point. Obviously you get two pouches and it does come with a strap. I do think that the pouches are very, very slender. I don't think that they're very, very slender. I shouldn't say that. They're a little bit more slender than I would like. And I think that if you end up overstuffing the bag, it could get, you know, those gnarly lumps and bumps. I could be wrong. If you guys have the double zip pochette, and if I'm totally wrong, please let us know in the comment section down below. But I just don't think it's as generous of a pouch as maybe the Pochette accessoire or anything like that. So I don't think it's bad, but if I had to choose the order in which I like them, of course, the Alma BB, the double zip pochette, and then the Cozygram. Just in my opinion. But again, if you guys also have the Cozygram and you think it's amazing, let us know in the comment section down below, because the more information that's out there, the better. Okay, next question. Do you use your Louis Vuitton Trevi much? I do, and I brought it out so we have even more eye candy. I absolutely love this bag. I think it is amazing. It's going to be in another video, one of my best purchases of 2022. I think that this is a fantastic handbag. And what I really like about it is the fact that it gives me all the old school Louis Vuitton vibes that I am looking for. It reminds me of the good old days of Louis Vuitton. The canvas is thicker. This is a very heavy bag, all right? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's very heavy on its own, and then you start adding your stuff inside, and it can make for a heavy bag, right? But all that aside, I'm like, yeah, it's heavy. It feels like a brick, but it is absolutely gorgeous. There's just something about it. I don't know. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I think that this handbag is fantastic. And I would have loved that they would have made this in the Demi Azur. I would have purchased it in that print as well, or the monogram, just because I am that crazy about it. Plus, it could also be the fact that I always wanted this bag. I always appreciated it from afar. You know, that could be part of it, but it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And yes, I definitely use it quite often. All right, next question. Thoughts on the Speedy 20 in monogram and the Speedy in the Empreinte leather? Okay, so I am a huge fan of the Speedy 20, both in the prompt leather and in the canvas. The 20 size is amazing. It's not too small. I love the fact that the zipper is a lot more open, so that way you can really see your items at a glance. Personally, between the two, I do prefer the prompt leather because I think it's maybe a $400 difference. I could be wrong, but it's either $400 or $500 difference between the two. And I would rather put an extra $500 and get the all leather Speedy 20 than go for the canvas version, especially because the canvas version comes with that god-awful strap. My goodness. I know that I sound like a broken record, but the whole fabric strap that these canvas pieces come with, I think is such a slap in the face. I mean, the fabric one is adjustable, you know, and you have two different colors that you can go for. But again, I would rather put a little bit more money and go for an all leather handbag that comes with not an all leather strap. Well, it is all leather, removable, adjustable strap, but it also has that chain detail. And I think it just adds a little bit more to the bag. I find that it might end up wearing a lot better as time goes on. I could be wrong. I know that the prompt leather, some people had said that the Speedies feel a little bit flimsy, they feel a little bit lightweight, so they think that they might end up wearing a little bit funky as time goes by, so also keep that in mind. But again, just from the material perspective and the price point that they have, I would rather go for the all leather one because I think it offers a lot more than the canvas version, just in my opinion. Next question, what do you think of the Cozygram Neo Noe? I'm not a fan, all right? I'm not a fan, and just to give you guys a little bit more info, in general, I really struggle with those shearling or the faux shearling or the teddy type of handbags. I just can't really get behind them. I think I'm the only person on the planet that doesn't find them appealing. All I can think of are slippers. That's all I think of. And I think that they will end up wearing terribly as time goes by, or even in a short amount of time, just because of the material that they're made from. I could be completely wrong, and I'm not trying to, you know, to completely bash that type of material, but it is definitely not my jam. I can't get behind it at all. All right, next question. What are your makeup skincare must-haves? Maybe a makeup skincare collection. I am the worst person when it comes to skincare. I really don't have a good skincare routine. As many of you know, if you follow me on Instagram, there are days I sound like such a dirtbag. There are days when I won't wash my face and I'll have makeup on from the previous day. You know, I've had people in the comments saying, that's so bad for your skin. Trust me, I know. But I am the worst when it comes to skincare. All I have is, you know, a really good moisturizer, something that doesn't make me break out, something that helps out with the whole oiliness that I got going on, because I do have a very oily T-zone. What I can tell you is one of the worst things that I have purchased when it comes to skincare is the La Mer moisturizing lotion. Oh my goodness. Now, I know a lot of people absolutely love La Mer. I think that's great, you know, to each their own, but I think it is absolutely horrendous. It has been some of the worst money I have ever spent on a moisturizing lotion. And I kind of touched base on this on Instagram, and someone was like, well, did you follow the directions? Yeah, dude, I'm not 2 years old. I know how to follow directions when it comes to skincare, or, you know, to any product. And I followed the directions, and I broke out like crazy. My T-zone was even oilier. It was just no bueno. It was not good. So, yeah. Not a fan of La Mer, but in general, as long as I have a good toner and a moisturizer, that's pretty much all I do. Oh, and I, you know, just a scrub for my face. Other than that, I'm not really like too into skincare. Maybe I should be. I might look better. My skin might look better, but yeah, that's not my thing either. All right. What is your favorite memory from 2022? It would have to be, I mean, 2022 has been a really good year for me, for us. I would have to say the day that the hubs and I just went out. We didn't really have anything planned. We ended up doing a little bit of day drinking. We did a little bit of celebrating just because it was a random day of the week, and we ended up at Cartier, which is how this guy came to be in my jewelry collection. And I vividly remember that day, and it was awesome. It was absolutely amazing. We were just having champagne and celebrating just being together and it being a random day. Absolutely. So I love those types of memories. I like those types of days happening because there's no rhyme or reason, and it ends up being just one of the best days, you know, in the year. So that's definitely mine. But what about you guys? What has been your best memory for 2022? Let us know in the comment section down below. All right, next question. Are your coworkers aware of your channel? If so, any feedback from them? They are not aware of my channel at all. I absolutely love it. I personally prefer to keep my work life and my hobby life completely separate. So nobody knows about it, and I really hope that it stays that way. All right, next question. Since you're a YouTube OG, I don't think I am, how have your feelings changed as a creator over the years? All right, so I'm definitely gonna have to include myself in this because I have done this at some point during my time on YouTube, but I do think that it has become highly commercialized. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing because there's a lot of good money to be made on YouTube or on social media in general, so I'm not knocking against anybody, I'm not sitting here bashing anybody either, but I do think that it's become highly commercialized. It's all about videos, it's all about views, it's all about clicks, it's all about like this popularity contest in a sense. And I think that gone are the days, and I'm not going to speak for everybody because that would be very, very unfair. I think gone are the days when the majority of people on YouTube were just them turning on their camera and sharing their passion, sharing their thoughts, or just wanting to talk to somebody in their bedroom or in a room or what have you. I think it's really gotten away from that, from what it was. And once again, that's not necessarily a bad thing because of course no one wants to stay in like the same rut. You don't want to see the same type of content from a person, you know, for the last 10 years and they do the same thing over and over again. You know, that's something that I have struggled with. So I can understand that people want to see something different and you want to evolve your channel. But I think that just because in general, social media, not just YouTube, everything has been about money and everything has been about something behind it. Again, I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm not saying that there aren't people out there that don't come on here just to share their 2 cents and there is no agenda behind that. I'm not saying that either. But yeah, I would just have to say that it's become commercialized just in every aspect when it comes to social media. All right, next question. Will you ever reconsider and maybe continue doing MMQAs again in the future? I wouldn't be opposed to maybe doing a Q&A here and there later on. Definitely, I don't see myself continuing it. And as I said previously, with my Q&A videos, I know that a lot of people throughout the last few months or even the last year had commented that the questions were getting very repetitive week after week. You know, kind of like what I just mentioned, that you want to see the channel evolve. You don't want to see someone stay in the exact same rut doing the exact same thing over and over again, right? I get that. You know, everything was becoming repetitive and it just didn't have the same engagement that it once had before. So I thought that maybe it wouldn't be it wouldn't be a fun video to do anymore. But I do love my MMQAs. I love being able to talk about different topics with you guys. I've gotten to know so many of you because of it. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to doing one here and there later on, but I don't foresee myself continuing them by any means whatsoever. But again, never say never. All right, next question. What's changed in your preferences since the first MMQA? All good things must come to an end. I think that I have become a lot more I think that when I first started MMQA, I was so afraid of, you know, sharing pictures, and I felt like I was really careful with what I discussed because I didn't want to rub anybody the wrong way. But as the years have gone by, it's not about rubbing someone the wrong way, and it's never about trying to make someone feel bad about whatever handbag they purchase if it's something that doesn't suit me. I always like to showcase the good and the bad in something that someone asks me when it comes to a handbag on MMQA. I'm not the type of person that just because it doesn't work out for me doesn't mean that I can't sing the praises of the handbag or I can't highlight the things that the bag does really well. Again, just because it doesn't work out for me, you know? So I think that I've become a lot more vocal. I've been able to show both the good and the bad, in my opinion, when it comes to an item, not just a handbag. So I guess you could say I'm a little bit more open-minded than I was when I first started. I do incorporate more pictures just for the sake of research or just for to be able to share a little bit more info on the item without doing like a full-blown review. So that's definitely what's changed from the first MMQA to this last one. And all right, next question. What has been your favorite thing about MMQA? Definitely getting to know you guys and being able to discuss topics without going at each other's throats. And that is amazing because if I look at other videos when it's a topic that, you know, people definitely end up disagreeing on, sometimes I see them going for each other's jugular and it's insane. People are like name calling, they're all over the place. And I feel like with our MMQAs, it's been so, like I can picture myself with all of you guys in my room just talking about bags, and the fact that we don't always agree and the fact that you guys share your opinions on whatever we discuss has been absolutely fantastic. I love the environment that we have when it comes to MMQA, you know? So I think it's wonderful. And plus being able to get to know you guys through the questions that you ask and the things that you like or the things that you are struggling with or whatever that might be has been absolutely amazing. So the connection and the environment that we have created on this series or for this series has been fantastic. I couldn't have asked for anything better. All right, and the last question. So what's next in the world of bags for Minnie in 2023? I have no idea, but I am so excited to find out. I wonder if I'm going to slow down even more from purchasing handbags. It makes me wonder if I'm gonna get up one day and say, you know what, I no longer want this bag, I no longer want that bag, if I'm going to streamline my collection. I don't know, but I am so excited to find out. And I ask you guys, what's next in your world when it comes to handbags for 2023? Let us know in the comment section down below. But that does it for our Q&A video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope I was able to answer your questions. And as always, I welcome your thoughts, I welcome your opinions on anything that we discuss on here, but I cannot thank you guys for these amazing years. How many years have I been doing MMQA? I think probably like 5, maybe 5 or I don't know. It seems like it's been an eternity, but not in a bad way. But I cannot thank you guys for all of the support, for all of the love, for all of the amazing questions, all of the fabulous topics that we have discussed over the years. It has been amazing. It has definitely been one of the highlights of my channel, being able to do these types of videos. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna miss them. It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. But as I said previously, I know that, you know, people want change. People want something a little bit different, and hopefully I'll be able to bring that to the table next year with some different kind of content. I don't know, but I love you guys to the moon and back, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the love and all the support on these MMQAs. They have been absolutely incredible. So I will see you guys in my next one, and as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day.